All right, guys, I got about 9:03, so I'm going to go ahead and get this call underway. If you got here late, you just got to catch up. You got to get with your sponsor and figure out what's going on. I'm going to talk very, very fast tonight. I've got so much information I've got to get out, but I want to try to keep this as concise and short and sweet as I can, so just follow along with me as best you can. There has been this. Let me just start this call off by saying this. I have never in my entire career of 6 years of doing this, and I have been with a lot of companies, I've met with a lot of people, been with a lot of leaders, I've done a lot of different things. I have never, ever seen anything go as fast as this thing has grown. It is absolutely insane how fast this is spreading, literally all across the world. I mean, we are now into 17 different countries, and this all originated from a little garage in Florida, where we just came up with a concept. We came up with an idea. We decided we wanted to do something. We wanted to do something for the people that was built by the people, that was going to make money for the people. And this, you guys have grabbed hold of this. You have absolutely just created pandemonium with it. And it's just insane what has happened. On August the 8th, when we launched this, I can't imagine how many people are going to get paid here. And before I kind of get into the meat and potatoes of this, I want you guys to kind of fathom for 1 second. We are literally right now, guys, this is not a call where there's any hype. There's no exaggeration. There is no smoke and mirrors here. I am not trying to make you think or feel or trying to pitch you anything or sell anything. I am just telling you the facts. We are right now at well over 12,000 people that are going to be joining this. That's where we are right now. I have no doubt, and this is my prediction. I'm simply going off the numbers that I've been told, the emails, the Facebook messages, the texts, the voicemails, the conference calls that I've done, everybody that I've met with. I'm accumulating all these numbers, and I'm telling you guys, we will be at 15 to 20,000 people during the month of August. This is insane how fast this has grown, and it's simply because social media. You guys have grabbed hold of this, and you've started to spread the word. But because that word has spread so fast, that's why I wanted to hold this conference call tonight. And I'm kind of calling this a clarification call, because I want to make sure that everybody has the facts. And when things spread like this so fast, and things start to accumulate so fast, and the information starts to spread so fast, I think a lot of things get kind of misconstrued. It's kind of like the old game you used to play in kindergarten where somebody whispered in somebody's ear and it went around the circle and came back around after 20 people, and you kind of, well, what did this phrase start off with? And it came back something entirely different. So tonight, what we're going to do, this is not to try to explain how everything works. This is to try to explain to you some facts. This is how this program works. So if you're brand new on the call, somebody may have sent you this number and said, hey, listen in, find out what this is all about. This may sound a little confusing to you. For some of you guys who have been involved here over the last couple of weeks and you know what's going on, I think this is going to make a lot of sense, and it's going to really benefit and help you guys. I think it's so important that you understand this, because as this word starts to spread and you start to sponsor people or refer people or bring people into this program, I think it's very, very important that they understand how it works, the facts, and why it works, and what we've started here and what we've developed. So I've got several notes here that I'm going to go over. The first thing I wanted to do, and I'm going to give you a very, very short version of a long story. And here's this version. We originated this concept. We came up with this idea simply because we were trying to find a way that we could make money and a lot of other people can make money. We all know how the system works. I mean, if you get a lot of people making money, the word just starts to spread and everybody makes money. So we just tried to come up with an idea. We had no idea that people would gravitate towards this and they would grab hold of it and take off with it as fast as they have. Our numbers right now are 10 times what we predicted we were going to be at before we even launched the company. That's how fast this is growing. So I got a lot of things I want to cover here tonight. This is a cycler program. For those of you that are familiar with cyclers, I think some of the things that I'm going to cover is going to make sense to you. If you're not familiar with cyclers, I cannot recommend enough. Get with your sponsor. Find out how cyclers work and let them explain to you why this is so different. Because what we did is we took a cycler program and totally changed the dynamics of it. We took everything that was bad out of it and left everything that was good in it. I'm going to start with several things tonight. And I've just got a list of things that I'm going to kind of go over and cover. The first thing that we did is we took out the jump feature. The jump feature simply means this. In most cycler programs, when a person starts off, if you don't sponsor a certain number of people, that number may be 2, it may be 3, maybe it's 4, 5, 6, or 7. If you don't sponsor that certain number of people, whatever's dictated for that particular program, you actually get jumped by the people who do, which simply means this. You stay on the board that you're on, and you never make money. You never accumulate money. You never rotate or cycle off of that board. You never move to the next board. You never advance. In fact, you just stay there forever. And for those people who don't do that, that's not a good thing. They don't make any money. So we took the jump feature out. I said, I don't want the jump feature. Let's take that jump feature out. Let's make it so that Billy Bob, who lives down the street, who's a hermit crab and doesn't know anybody, can make money here. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, when we took the jump feature out, what that means is Billy Bob is going to be pushed through the system. He's going to actually make money. He's not going to make a lot of money, but he's going to make his money back, and he's going to make about $10 profit on the initial purchase that he started with here. So that was a huge thing. Now, we did that on purpose because here's the deal, guys. If Billy makes money, he's going to be able to go to his coworkers and say, look, I told you guys about this. You said it wouldn't work. Here's my check. I just made money. Those people are now going to join, which is going to give Billy credibility, which is going to bring more people to the company. That's one of the first things that we did. And that's just a simple, that's an obvious concept that people see. One of the other things that we did is we created what's called a true follow your sponsor system. And here's what I mean by that. Let's say that I go out and I sponsor a guy named David. David sponsors somebody named Steve. When I rotate out of the last 2x2, when my sponsor that I sponsor rotates out, he comes right back to the 2x2 that I'm on. And when his sponsor comes out, he comes right back out to the 2x2 that I'm on, which keeps continuing to fill spots. All of those people are coming into that from people that have been sponsored by somebody else. So it's a true follow your sponsor system. We've been involved with some other programs in the past where, it's kind of left up to each individual. Hey, I might want to go to this board, or maybe I want to go over here, or maybe I want to look for the hot board, or which one's best and first, and I want to put my position there. And what that does is that just splits everybody up. You've got a guy over here on the left, a guy on the right, you've got a guy 5 boards away, and nobody stays together. So we created a true follow your sponsor system. Here's the other thing that we did. We created it automatically. In your back office, when you sign up into this program, in your back office, there's going to be a box that you check. As long as that box is checked, you will automatically follow your sponsor. It's all going to be handled for you. You don't even have to keep track of it. The system, the program will automatically put you right back into the system following the sponsor that you were sponsored by. Here's the other thing that we did. We started this program with a 2x2. Now, most programs start off with a 2x3, and I'll tell you why they do that. And I don't mind sharing this with you guys. When most of these cycler programs are generated or created, they're generated or created by people who are looking to make a fast buck. They're looking for a way to make some really good money, and they make extreme amounts of money, guys. I'm going to share some numbers with you here before I wrap the call up. But, as owners are creating these companies, they understand breakage. And here's what breakage is. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say that I sign up a buddy of mine named Rod. Rod signs up into the company, spends a few $100s, but never does anything. Never does a thing. Never mentions it to nobody. We have a jump feature. He gets jumped over. He stays on the board. Well, guess what? That few $100s that Rod spent stays in the company. It goes into the owner's pockets. We took that away. We don't want the money. We don't want the money going into the owner's company or to the owner's pockets. We wanted to create something where that money stays into the hands of the people. So by taking the jump feature out, that makes people move forward. The other thing that we did was we started people off on a 2x2 board. If you're familiar with the cyclers or matrices, on a 2x3 board, the minimum amount of people, this is the minimum, I always figure worst case scenario, on the minimum amount of people that takes to get you off of a 2x3 board is 32 people. That's 32 people that have to join your board, not the company, just your board alone. 32 people have to join that board before you can ever rotate off. And you don't ever get a dime until that 32nd person joins that board. We did away with that. We said, I don't want to do that. I said, I want to get people paid as fast as we possibly can. So what we did is we created a position where when you're at the top of that board, every single time somebody hits your board, you're making $50 as long as you're fully qualified. I'll tell you what fully qualified means here in just a minute. But when you're fully qualified, when you're at the top of that board, you don't even have to cycle off. You don't even have to rotate off. You don't even have to be on the next board. Every single time somebody hits your board, bam, $50. Second person hits it, bam, $50. Third person, $50. Fourth person, $50. You pretty much just got back every single dollar you ever started with here. From this point on, it's all profit. We created that. The reason we did is because we wanted to get money flowing as fast as we could. Here's the other thing that we did. There was a master distributor spot. That master distributor spot we've actually named Pace Car. This is called Race Cycler. It's just like a NASCAR race. Everybody follows the pace car. We created a position called the Pace Car. Every single person in this company follows the PACE card. I've gotten so many questions from people who have asked me this. If I join this company and I sponsor nobody, I never share it with a single soul, never bring a single person into this business, can I still make money? The answer is yes. Here's the reason why. The PACE card is programmed to always go to the oldest board in the company. Let me give you an example. Let's say that I sign up somebody named Jill. Jill decides to join the company, never mentions it to anybody, sits on a board, never moves anywhere. The board just sits there and is stalled. We all know what stalled boards are if you've ever been involved with cyclers before. She sits there and never does a thing. If she's the oldest board in the company, that PACE card position will land on her board. If it lands on her board, every single person in the company, every single person is following that PACE card, which means they're going to land on her board, which is going to push her through. Now, is she going to make an extreme amount of money? The answer is no. She's going to make her money back plus about $10. That's nothing to brag about, and nobody's joining this to make $10. I understand that. But that's just to prove to you the system that we've designed. It pushes everybody through the system. That's the way the PACE card is designed to do. Let's talk about this for just a second. I've had several people who have asked me, if I sponsor nobody, how much money can I make? If I sponsor one person, how much money can I make? If I sponsor two people, how much money can I make? What if I sponsor 100 people? How much money can I make? Here's the answers, guys. If you're sponsoring one person, you will eventually make your money back, which is $230 plus about $10 when you go through the system, and that's what you're going to make. And if you have elected to recycle yourself again, you'll make that money again. It's totally up to you if you have that box checked in your back office. Again, I understand that's nothing to brag about, and nobody gets excited over making $10. If you've sponsored one person, you could make a total of about $500 here. Because on the first board, you're going to make 25, 25, 25, and 25. When you get to the next board, you're going to make 100, 100, 100, 100. So that's $500 that you could make simply by sponsoring one person. Now, of course, if you sponsor two people, that's where the extreme money starts to happen. That's a $2,200 payout on a $230 purchase here. I'll tell you what that purchase is as we kind of go through this call. But that's how the system works. Now, people have asked me already, what's the advantage of me sponsoring a lot of people? This is what I really want to hone in tonight before I get into some of the other topics, because I want you to understand this. When you sponsor, say, I'll just throw a number out there. Let's say you sponsor 10 people, personally direct to you. You have personally sponsored 10 people. I want you to think about the math and just think about how this works. On a 2x2 board, there are 4 positions that are available. That is all that is available. There are no more than 4 positions. When 4 people hit that board's bust. It's over, and everybody moves up. So if you're sponsoring 10 people, the first 4 people bust the board. The second 4 people bust the board. The last 2 people fill up the last 2 spots, and you're sitting on the pay line. You've already made 50 and 50, so you just made $100 right there. Here's why this is so instrumental, and I want you to understand this. The more people that you sponsor, and again, you don't have to do this. Please understand, you don't have to be a master recruiter and go out there and sponsor thousands or 100 people. You just have to sponsor 2 to maximize the pay plan. But if you do sponsor a lot of people, here's why it's important. It's a follow your sponsor system. When you go to the next 2x2, guess where those 10 people are coming directly to? They're coming directly to your 2x2, which means it's going to fill it up that much faster. So it simply means this. The more people you sponsor, the faster you're going to cycle, the more money that you're going to make in the quicker amount of time. That's all that means. Now, again, you don't have to do that, but there are people who are going out there. In fact, I know of several people who literally already have thousands of people that they're bringing into this. Their teams are growing astronomically. So that's the advantage of sponsoring several people. Again, you don't have to do that, but 2 people can maximize the pay plan if that's what you so choose to do. Let me talk about this for a little bit, because I've been hearing this talk a lot in some of the team rooms. In fact, I know of, and there may be more than this, I know of about 7, maybe 8 different team rooms that are on Facebook right now that are already building. And there's hundreds of people that are in these rooms. I've seen all kinds of phrases. I've seen things like, this is a passive program. Just sign up for $230. You don't have to do anything. You're going to make money. Sign up here. You're going to be a part of our team build. You don't have to do anything. We're going to put people under you. I've seen people posting things like, this is a single straight line deal, and don't worry about it. As long as you're the next in line, you're the next one that's going to get paid. I want to tell you guys this. This is factual. Hear it tonight. That all of those statements are untrue. That is not correct. This is the way this system works. It is a 2x2 that feeds to a second 2x2. What that simply means is that whatever board you're on, whatever board that is, the most that it will ever take to bust your board and move you up to the next level is 4 people. That is the worst case scenario. That is if you land in the first spot on the 4 line. If you land in the 4th spot on the 4 line, it takes no one to bust your board. You were the 4th person. Your board just busted, you moved up. And I want people to understand that, because in a straight line scenario, if you understand how different team deals and things like that work, I think a lot of people, they had that concept of thinking, oh, I got to hurry up and get fast in line. I'm the 6th person. I'm the 7th person. I'm the 9th person. I'm the 26th person. I'm the 26th person that's going to get paid. That's not true, because it takes 4 people before that 26th person can get paid after the 25th person has gotten paid. So the longer you are in line, the longer that it takes for the boards to fill up. So I want to be very clear about that. This is it requires effort. It requires you sharing it with somebody. If you want to make really extreme money, if you're looking to make $10, don't do anything. Just sign up and sit there. Okay, eventually you'll make your money. But if you want to make big money, you got to go out there and you got to share this with some people. So I want to be clear about that with all these team builds and things that are going on. Let me talk about this for a little bit. This thing has it's almost obtained a life of its own. And it's almost taken over as people are starting to bring people into it. And here's what I want you to understand. As these boards start to move, I'll give you an example. Let's say that Deb lands on the 3rd spot of the 4 line. That's where she lands at. But her sponsor was on maybe the 2 line on the left-hand side. Now, again, if you're not familiar with cyclers, this may kind of be over your head. If she were to land there, there is a possibility that she might get separated. Now, why would she get separated from her sponsor? She would get separated because there are so many people that are coming into this that there's only so many spots on the board. I mean, there's only 4 spots. You just simply can't put more than 4 people on the board before it busts. So if she were to get separated, her sponsor may go to one board, she may go to another board, but when she comes off of that board, they will be married up again on the next board. It's a follow your sponsor system. So don't worry about that. I know that's going to happen, and it's going to freak some of you guys out, and you're going to wonder what in the world's going on. Don't worry, because it's going to happen, but you will always be married back up on the next board. You're always going to follow your sponsor, and you're always going to come back around. So that's not a big issue that you need to be worried about. One of my other topics here, I see I've had a lot of people who are saying just join, you're going to make some money, don't have to worry about doing anything. I think we've already covered that. Let's talk about this for a little bit, because I think this is very important. As this thing starts to kick off, and this is probably, especially at this stage in the game, guys, this is probably the most important thing that you need to understand. And please, I don't care if you have to tie a string around your finger or leave you a Post-it note or leave the light on outside or whatever to remind yourself to do this. This is one of the most important things you need to do. When we kick this thing off, the people are going to cycle so fast. And I'm not exaggerating here. There will be people that will literally, they will cycle in 3 seconds. That's how fast this thing is already growing. If you don't have that box checked in your back office, on your profile, when you go to your settings, if that box is not checked, you will not recycle into this program. And the reason it's so important is this. Again, we have probably 12 to 15,000 people now. I have no idea where this will be by August 8th, but right now that's what's looking like it's coming into this. If you don't have that box checked, let me just say that maybe you're the 19th person to come into this. You're the 19th person to enroll into this program. That is 12,000 people that is going to blow by you so fast it'll leave your skin laying on the ground. And I mean that. I can't exaggerate that enough. I'm telling you, if you don't have that box checked. Now, some of you have asked me this. Well, why don't we just go ahead and have the box checked automatically? Legally, we can't do that. The reason why is this. We are telling you this is what you can make when you cycle through the program. You're going to make $200 if you have 2 people on the first board. You're going to make $2,000 on the second board if you have 2 people. And I can't tell a person that that's what they're going to make, but yet I have the box checked automatically, and they're only making $19 to $70. I have to be able to tell them that this is how the math works. So that's why the box is not already checked for you. It is imperative Please make a note of this. You must check that box. And I'm only telling you this because I'm just warning you. This is I know what's getting ready to happen, and I know the people that are coming to this, and you need to understand this. You must have that box checked. It's very, very simple. When you go to your back office, you'll see the settings. You'll click on it. It's a box right down at the bottom. There's going to be plenty of notice. I'll send plenty of emails. Your sponsor will get this out to you. We'll post it in the team rooms, and you'll see that box that you need to check. As long as you have that box checked, the system will automatically put you right back into the system. It'll pull it from your earnings. You don't have to pay another dime. Nothing's going to come out of your pocket. You don't have to pull your credit card back out again. Everything's going to happen automatically. But please, please make sure that you have that box checked. A couple of other things I want to cover here. I've had some people who have said, am I guaranteed that I'm going to make some money? The answer to that is no. I can't guarantee you that the sun's going to rise tomorrow. I can't guarantee you that you're going to have another breath of oxygen in the next 30 seconds. I can't guarantee anything to anybody. What I can guarantee you is this. We have designed a program where the master distributorship or the pace car will always go to the oldest board. If you are the oldest board, yes, you are going to cycle. If you're not the oldest board, you have to wait for that board to cycle before it gets to your board if you're the second oldest board. If you're the fifth oldest board, you have to wait for 4 more boards to cycle before it gets to you. But yes, eventually it will get to you, and you will cycle, and you will receive money. I can't make it any clearer than that. So I don't want to guarantee anybody. I think, when launches happen like this and the momentum that's happening right now, I think a lot of people, when they hear things like this, they think, well, I'm just going to spend $230. I'm going to get rich overnight. No, you're not. You're not going to get rich overnight. Well, I shouldn't say that because there are some people who are going to get rich overnight. But for the most part, if you're not doing what needs to be done, no, you're not going to get rich overnight. And I want to be clear about that. I want you to understand that. There's no misconception. I want you to understand how this works. One of the other things that I'm hearing from a lot of people is, how is this thing going to launch? I've heard this, I've seen it, I've seen links, I've seen posts, I've been in the Facebook room. I want to join. How do I join this thing? Here's how you're going to join. On August the 8th, we're going to start this thing off. We have a group of people that we originated this with that's going to kick this thing off. They will then send their link, once they sign up, to their people, and they will sign up. They will then send their link to their people, and they will sign up. They will then send their link to their people, and they will sign up. And they will send their link to their people, and they will sign up. And that's how the process will happen. So I would say to you this. If you have any hesitation, and I can't stress this enough, if you have any hesitation, get with the person that got you on this call and say, yes, put me on your list, your text list, your email, your phone call list, whatever you have to do. If I have to show up at your house at the time we launch this thing with my credit card, I want in on this. You have to tell them that, because if they don't know, they can't warn you. And that's how this launch is going to take off. Now, after that process, and everybody's initiated here, there are going to be literally thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are going to be paid on day one. Make no mistake about it, because the way this is designed, every single time somebody joins this, every single time a single person joins this, somebody is making money. Every single time. There are going to be thousands and thousands of people that are going to be paid on day one. What do you think is going to happen when thousands and thousands, just think about it. If 10,000 people are paid on day one, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to spread this like wildfire. It will go everywhere. Everybody will know about it. Everybody will hear about it, and you're going to be left in the dark. You're going to be sitting there wiping your eyes and wiping the tears and tissues and all those good things and thinking, well, why in the world didn't somebody tell me about this? Well, you're hearing about it now. And we're only saying this because this is what's getting ready to happen. One of the other things I want to cover on the sign-up, people have asked me this. How will the sign-up process work? What's required? What kind of information am I going to have? This is where we're at right now, and when I conclude this, I'm going to tell you what we're looking to be at by the time we launch this. As of right now, when a person goes to sign up, they will simply click a link. When they click the link, it will take them to a Join Now screen. They will put in a username, a password, and an email address. That's all that's required for a person to sign up. Once they click the Join Now button, it will take them to the payment screen. Once they are on the payment screen, they will select 2 buttons. One will be PayPal, if you have a PayPal account. And if you don't have PayPal, you will select the other button that says, I don't have a PayPal account. If you don't have a PayPal account, you'll select that button. You'll simply fill out a few boxes. It will take you to the information that you fill in there. You will click Submit, and that will put you on the screen. You're on the board now. You will now have a back office. You'll be able to get your link, and you can send that to the next person. That will be the sign-up process. Now, that's where we are now. I am about 99.9% sure that we will have another payment processor on the screen by the time that we launch. In fact, we had a conference call yesterday. I had another conference call this morning at 9 a.m. Everything is in place. As far as I know, they can handle this. They can have their information on the screen. They are an e-wallet company that can handle the payout processing as well. If we can get all of this in place by the time that we launch, it will be on the screen, and that will be the method that you can use, in addition to PayPal, if you so choose to do that. If they are not on the screen, then simply because it takes some time to get all the logistics worked out, if they're not on the screen, it will only be 2-3 days, then they will be on the screen. But in the meantime, we'll use PayPal. That will be the sign-up process, and that's how it will work. And that kind of answers the question as well, for the people who says, I don't have a PayPal account, what am I supposed to do? So that kind of addressed that as well. We talked about how the sign-up will work. I'm looking at my notes right here. Let me cover this right quick, too. When we initially launched this, when people sign up through PayPal, you guys that are familiar with PayPal, you know that it takes a while to get the money from PayPal to the company's bank account. So it's going to take about 24, maybe 36 hours to get the money transferred from PayPal once people sign up into the company's bank account. Once it goes to the company's bank account, it then has to be transferred from there to our payout processors, which is Solid Trust Pay. That could take as long as another 24 to 36 hours. The reason I'm saying that is because I want you guys to understand this, and I want you to know it up front. During the first week of people signing up, you will see money sitting in your back office. Make no mistake about it, there's going to be people that are going to see $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 sitting in their back office, and it's going to happen that fast. I know it is because of the numbers that we're looking at. Just because that money's sitting there doesn't mean that you can request it and it can be sitting in your bank account the next day. It's going to take a while to get it from one processor to the bank account, from that bank account to the next processor. That process is going to take anywhere from, it could take as many as 10 to 14 days. After that point, you'll be paid every single Friday. A request can be made Monday through Thursday. You'll be able to put your request in, and on Fridays you're going to be paid, and it'll be just like clockwork every single week. But for the initial week, I want you guys to know it right up front, and please convey this to your people, because we don't want any support tickets coming in saying, I requested my money, how come I haven't gotten it yet? Oh my gosh, what in the world happened? Some guy ran off with the money. No, that's not the case at all. I want you to understand. It takes a while to get it from one to the other to the other. Once that process is done and the money's flowing, then it will just work like clockwork. Every single week you'll be paid on Friday. And I want you guys to know that right up front. I've had some people who have asked me about this. Can I buy multiple positions? And I know I understand the reason why they're asking that, because a lot of people have been involved with cyclers before, and they've figured out, and I'm not talking bad about anybody, but they figured out how to somewhat cheat the system. They have figured that if I join, and in this case for $230, and I just buy two other positions for $230 each, I haven't spent more money than what I could make. I could still make a profit. And I understand the math on that, and I understand why people think that way. They're just thinking business. I'm just going to buy 3 spots. I don't even have to talk to anybody, but yet I'm qualified to make all the money. I would highly advise you that you don't do that. Here's the reason why. We purposely developed this plan to start off on a 2x2 for several reasons. First off, we wanted to get people paid fast. Secondly, we wanted them to move through the boards fast. But thirdly, we didn't want to create dead boards. Here's what I mean by that. Let's say that I myself, I joined the program for $230. I have no intentions of sharing this with anybody. I don't like people. I don't want to talk to people. I have no intentions of sitting down with nobody and explaining this to them. I don't even want to participate in talking to anyone. I simply want to make money. So I spend $230 and I sign up my 2 dead grandpas who are no longer living. I spent $230 under Lloyd's name. I spent $230 under John's name. And I put them into the position. Here's what's going to happen. When that board splits, and because it's a follow-your-sponsor system, and I wind up at the top of that 2x2, guess who's going to be on my board with me? My 2 dead grandpas. Lloyd and John are going to be on the 2 line. Guess who's going to be on the 4 line? No one. That means it's only up to me to sponsor somebody else to get that board to move. I am telling you this now because I know that some of you have figured this out and you're trying to figure out how to cheat the system. And what I want you to know is we have put a plan in place that prevents that from happening. And that's beneficial for everyone because nobody wants a dead board. Nobody wants a stalled board, and everybody wants to see everything keep moving. So here's what would happen in that scenario. Until that board became the oldest board in the company, nobody would ever land on that. So I would highly recommend that if that is at all what you are thinking you can do, please go find something else to do, because it will not work here. And it was purposely designed that way. When we created this, we created an absolute beast of a monster. And if you don't believe me, you watch on August the 9th what is taking place on Facebook. This thing will be everywhere. There will be so many people talking about this, and so many people talking about the income that they're making, and so many people talking about how big their teams are building, simply because of the way we have designed this. So hopefully I have answered as many questions as I can. There is no way that I could possibly open up the lines to take questions tonight. But I wanted to cover as many of the things that I could. The biggest thing that I wanted you guys to understand as you start to get involved with this, because we have seen so many teams that are starting to build. We've seen so many people that are starting to build massive teams. We've seen so many influxes of people that literally, guys, are in the hundreds of people who are starting to come to this. I just had a phone call. In fact, I've done it twice today. I've had 2 phone calls with one gentleman who had over 300 people on each phone call. Literally thousands of people are coming to this. And I cannot stress this enough, guys. You have got to understand, this is big. It is bigger than what most of us have ever done before. In fact, I can tell you it's bigger than anything I've ever done before, and I was in the top 4% of one of the largest companies in the country. It is bigger than that. I had no idea how big this thing was going to grow, but it's there. It's there, and it's happening right now. It's already gone viral. People have already found out about it, and on August the 8th, when this thing kicks off, guys, if you don't have your positions in place, if you don't have your downlines in place, if you don't have your people lined up, if you don't have them on standby. In fact, today on a conference call I was holding with a group of people, I can remember the lead speaker was telling his people this. On August the 8th, you seriously might want to consider doing this. You might want to consider taking the sick day, because this is not something that you want to miss out on. It's just that big. It's just that big of a deal. I'm not advising you or telling you to do that, but I'm saying you might want to consider that, because the last thing you want to do is be that guy sitting in the cubicle when you got the phone call and you can't get to a computer because you're tied up at the time. Because there are literally thousands of people coming to this. And if you don't believe me, guys, literally, I urge you, go on Facebook, prove it to yourself. Go to Race Cycle on Facebook. You'll see our team room. It has grown. Last check, I looked at it. I think we were well over 1,300 people just in that room alone. And that's over the last 3 days. That's how big this is getting and how fast it's spreading. So for you guys that are, and I know you guys are doing a great job. You're spreading the word, and you're letting people know about it, and you're putting things on your Facebook posts, and I'm with you guys. I understand that. And I feel sorry for the people who aren't paying attention, for the people that are saying to you, no, I'm too busy, get back to me when you've made money, let me see how it works out for you, and maybe I might do something. I understand all that. And a lot of you people are doing this. You know, you're tired of explaining this over and over again. You're talking to one person, and 5 minutes later, you're talking to somebody else, and you're saying the exact same thing you said to the first person. I get that. And you want to just say to them, just join. I don't have time to explain this to you. Just join this. Figure it out later. But I'm telling you, I get all of that. Guys, if you'll focus here for 30 days, just 30 days, this is not a 5-year commitment. If you'll just focus for 30 days and stay tuned in on this, guys, you can't spend the money you'll make here. That's where this thing is headed. So, anyway, hopefully I've answered a lot of the questions, and hopefully these are some facts that you guys can take with you and convey to the people that you're enrolling. If there's any other questions, please get into the Facebook room. We'll answer those questions for you. But I wanted you guys to have the facts and understand exactly how this thing works and the way that it was designed, so there's no question. Because the last thing that we want is for somebody to join, for $230, and 2 days later send a support ticket in and say, well, I don't understand. I didn't make $10,000. Well, here's why you didn't make $10,000. First of all, you weren't on the conference call. You didn't understand how it worked, and your sponsor didn't relay the correct information to you. Here's the facts. Here's the way this thing works. So now you guys know how it works, why it works, and what this is all designed to do. But I'm telling you guys, we have created the absolute monster. It's a monster. I mean, there's no other way to put it. So I'm going to wrap the call up with that. And guys, I already know I went way longer than 15 minutes. I said I was going to try to keep it short and sweet, but I love to just talk, and I get excited when I start talking about these things. But I'm going to end the call now. The call has been recorded. As soon as that call recording is available, I will put this into the team room, and I'm hoping my good buddy Todd Kazinka up in Canada can put this into a link and help me out with that, and we'll get this for all you overseas guys that don't have the long-distance access to be able to listen into it. And we'll go from there. So I'm going to wrap the call up with that. And you guys have a great evening. And we've got one more call, too, guys, by the way. We've got one more call that I'm going to do tomorrow night. And after that, it's on. After one more call tomorrow night, that's it. So you better have your people on the call tomorrow night, because after that, everything's being shut down, and we're going to roll this thing on August the 8th, and it is just wide open. Get your engines started, get your lineups, get your pit crews in place, get them engines tuned and fine-tuned and ready to roll, and we'll let it go from there. So you guys have a great evening, and we'll talk to you soon.